couple days ago in school, the teacher asked us if we thought that young people didn't have enough goals and that it was a good thing to actually have goals. And that got into a real discussion because a lot of people didn't mean the same stuff. Some people meant the same stuff as me, some people meant the same stuff as somebody else. And it actually got a bit, people almost started raising their voices at each other. But what it all came down to was that a lot of the people in my class, they didn't believe that they could do whatever they put themselves to. So what my argument was, it was that, let's say you want to be a great painter, like the best painter in the world. If you say to yourself, I'm gonna be the best painter, and no matter what, I'll keep working towards that goal. If you work every single day, multiple hours every single day for decades, 10 years, 20, 30 years, there's no way that you don't become a top painter. And I'm not saying that it's sure that you're going to be the number one. Maybe if you say to yourself, I know for sure I'm not going to stop until I'm number one, like the best painter, then you probably are. But what defines your success is what you think you can do. So on YouTube you hear a lot about these interesting theories that if you visualize yourself being like successful and doing the hard work, then it will be way easier because your mind associates you with this new identity. And you might think that is some woohoo bullshit, but it's real. That's not fake or anything. It works. If you've ever read the book Atomic Habits, James Clear, he also talks about it, that if you don't create a new identity, you won't get anywhere. So I'll just use this analogy. So imagine there's two people, right? They're all the same and they're both trying to quit smoking. And they go to a party and the one guy, he gets offered a cigarette and he says, no, I'm trying to quit smoking. The other guy gets offered a cigarette and he says, no, I don't smoke. Who do you think is eventually going to accept the cigarette? It's obviously the guy that says that he's trying to quit smoking, because he just says that because he likes the idea of being the guy that's trying to quit and get validation because of that. He hasn't changed his identity into being a person that doesn't smoke, and therefore it will be harder because he's always the guy trying to stop. The other guy, he said to himself, yeah, I don't smoke anymore. So when you say to people, I don't smoke, they won't offer you the cigarette. They'll be like, oh yeah, but I know you want the cigarette, right? That's the same thing that your thoughts are going to do to you when you start thinking that, I can't really do it. Like when it gets hard, when you're working, when you have to wake up at 5 a.m. to do deep work, when you have to go on that run, when you have to push those weights, when you have to meditate, when you don't want to do it, even if it's not something that's hard, when you don't want to do it, if you're not sure that you're the guy that does that, the thoughts of your lizard brain, the thoughts of your brain telling you that, oh, it doesn't matter, you tried and you couldn't do it because you just didn't have the talent. Think of that. You're going to be the guy that when it gets hard, you're going to start creating excuses in your mind and say, oh, well, but I just tried this and maybe it doesn't work. Like these people in my class, they were sure, some of them, they were sure that if they said to themselves, I want to be the best footballer in the world, even though they committed decades of their life, multiple hours a day, just creating this image of themselves, they didn't believe that they could be the best footballer in the world. And which person, completely destroys that limiting belief? Cristiano Ronaldo. I said it, and they were all like, oh yeah, but he's 1 in a million. Yeah, you could be 1 in a million. This guy, he's literally the person saying that talent is not as important as hard work and discipline. Like this guy came from the slums. He didn't have a lot of money for food all the time, and look at where he is now, bro. He's one of the richest people you probably know. Everybody knows Cristiano Ronaldo. Not even people who don't even watch football, they know him. And these people, or some of the people in my class, they would still believe that, yeah, it wasn't possible for them. Like, just think about how weak their mindset is. They don't even believe in yourself. Like, a lot of people tell you, oh, make sure to believe in yourself, that's very important. But, people take that too lightly. Like, yeah, say, oh yeah, I will believe in myself. But when they're sitting there that day, it's raining outside and they have to go for that run, and they told themselves yesterday, I am a runner. And now they're there thinking, oh, maybe I'm not a runner. Do you call that a person who actually believes in themselves? Do you call the person who says, oh, I'm a businessman, while doing some work, and the next morning when he has to wake up at 5 a.m. to do his deep work, he says, oh, no, I don't want to do this. Is that a guy who, thinks a lot of himself, like thinks highly about himself and actually believes in himself? Of course not. Like, even our teacher, thought that if, let's say, me and you, right? I want to be a painter, you want to be a painter. She believed that if you had talent, we couldn't be just as good painters. Like, she thought that I just couldn't, I just couldn't get on your level if you had talent. And even though I maybe couldn't get on your level, I could still be up there. Because she said, oh, but, you're gonna see things that I won't be able to see. Like, how does that work? You can literally learn from the people that know the stuff. If you do what they do, and you do it more than them, if you work harder, you figure out new stuff, how are you not gonna be more successful than them? So think about these two people. There's one guy who has no talent. He's shit at what he's doing right now. But he's putting in 4 hours a day of work every single day, non-stop. And then there's this other guy, he's quite good at drawing already, let's just say that was the case. And, he just does it for like half an hour every day. In 10 years, don't you think that the guy who's drawing 4 hours a day will be on the level of the guy with talent who's only drawing half an hour a day? Obviously, bro. He's doing so many times more the work just because you have talent. Like, how's that going to help you? Did Ronaldo have talent? Maybe he did, but he surely also did the hard work. You can do what you put yourself to. So I'm asking you, do you want to be the guy that says that he's an entrepreneur and the next day when he has to wake up early for work, he's like, oh, but I don't really want to do it? Are you going to be that guy that's going to start coping and saying, oh, but I didn't really want it anyway and I don't think I'm really an entrepreneur? Or do you want to be that guy that thinks, oh, I don't want to wake up at 5 a.m. tomorrow, but fuck that. I'm an entrepreneur. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be successful. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I can be able to do. So fuck that. I'll wake up at 5 tomorrow. Even though it's hard. Even though it's, you feel sleep deprived. Even though you feel like shit when you wake up. You wake up at 5 a.m. tomorrow. Who do you want to be? Because believing in yourself and staying true to yourself is actually a lot of the time discipline. Because when you're in that moment where you have to go on a run when it's raining or you have to wake up early for work, it's easier to tell yourself that you're not that great, that you're not as great as you thought. But are you staying true to yourself? No. But it's only because it's easier. What is easier? Rolling around and sleeping more when your alarm rings at 5 a.m. Or is it actually saying, I'm going to do the work and doing it? Which one's easier? Obviously sleeping more. So why are you choosing to roll around and not do the hard work? Because we already know that doing the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it, is what's going to get you success. Doing the stuff that feels like a bit boring right now, they are going to be the ones that will get us the better feeling later. I've talked so much about delayed gratification, and yet these people with small self-beliefs, they still don't get it. Like, I just think that it's sad seeing these so many people in my class, like these people, they could be great at whatever they wanted to be great at, and they're sitting there saying, "Oh, but I couldn't do it." That's literally what they're telling themselves. You know, they're going into life as young people saying, "I can't do this. I won't be able to do that. No, I don't really believe I can do that. I just think there's people more talented than me. Yeah, they'll do better than me." Why are you thinking that? Why are you bringing yourself down? And I'm not saying that you should be like egotistical or think, "Oh, I'm just better than everyone else." No, no, no. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that you should, when you say to yourself, "I'm going to be this person," when you create a new identity for yourself, when you say, "I can do this," you should stick to that. You should stay true to that. And don't start saying, "Oh, but I didn't really mean it. I'll just go back to watching Netflix and stuff." You have to say to yourself that you can do it. If you don't believe in yourself, okay, you're gonna get nowhere. You know, when I do all of these, when I do these videos and when I do all of my habits, I'm never like thinking, maybe I'm not the guy that meditates. Maybe I'm not the guy that works out. I don't think that when it's hard. I think, fuck that, I'll go anyway. Because I know I'm the guy that meditates, I'm the guy that journals, I'm the guy that reads, I'm the guy that works out, I'm the guy that works hard. I tell myself that. And so it's also harder for me to actually live up to my own standards. So I have to keep myself at these standards because I'm not just thinking, "Oh, well, it doesn't really matter if I watch YouTube for 5 hours again today." So I'll just ask you one more time. Do you want to be the guy that says to himself, "I'm going to be an entrepreneur," and the next day he's just watching YouTube again? He's just saying, "Oh, but I don't really want to do the work. Oh, I'll do the work tomorrow. I'll do it later." Or do you want to be that guy that tells himself today, "Yeah, I am the guy who works out. I am the entrepreneur. I am the guy who meditates." And tomorrow you think back and you don't like disappoint your younger self. You don't just take the instant gratification and make your life worse in the ahead of time. You actually take action and say, "Yeah, I said I'm the guy that meditates. I'm going to meditate. It doesn't matter if I do 10 or 3 minutes. I'm just going to meditate no matter what." It's just about putting one foot in front of the other. It's what I always say at the end of my videos. I'm not saying that you should start doing like crazy workouts or meditating for 1 hour every time. I'm just asking you to do like 1 minute, 30 seconds of meditation and, not much exercise. You just have to show up every day. That's what gets you disciplined. That's what gets you to the image that you've set yourself to. That's how you become successful. So I think that if you don't have high beliefs about yourself or believe in yourself, you should probably journal about this, think about it, and wonder if you're treating yourself the right way. If you want to see more videos from me, a smaller YouTuber, I recommend that you go down and click the subscribe button. And as always, put one foot in front of the other.